Guys, I watched J-Lo's Vanity documentary, and I'm here to show you why it's a story that should have never been told. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Look, I don't like piling on. I'm not trying to bully J-Lo, but J-Lo put this out herself. She was warned throughout this documentary not to put this out. This is the worst vanity project I've ever seen, and she lacks any self-awareness to see that this was too much. And so all the criticism that she's getting while she's trying to push back and say that she's being bullied, no, your own work is expressing why you're getting criticized and you refuse to acknowledge it. And worse, guys, when anyone posts a clip from this documentary, she has gotten Amazon to block it outright. Not even just like take our revenue. You can't even show it. So I am here to tell you this is a fair use commentary criticism news report. I will be showing transformative clips. This is fair use if it's ever been. And I'm going to try to start and stop as much as I can to offer even more commentary than I should have to. But if you're wondering why I don't just play the clip, it's because Amazon won't let me. They won't. But no artist, no movie, no diva is above criticism, and this movie deserves it more than any of I've seen recently. As she's out there trying to do damage control, you need to see it from the source, and you can watch the full thing. I'm not trying to take away Amazon's views or confuse you that this is the doc. Go watch the full piece. It's called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. It's on Amazon Prime. You can stream it there for free. If you have Amazon Prime, go support, go watch, whatever. But let's go through I want to show you some of the worst moments of this that showcase, to me, why J-Lo is a problem and why she's unaware of the criticism that's valid. It starts with this. I want to play this clip right here.
First day, I showed everybody this book. This book is a book that Ben gave me on our first Christmas back together. It is every letter, every email that we wrote to each other from 20 years ago. And today, it became like our Bible. And we just left it there in the studio. And people would thumb through it. They're like, can we look at it? I was like, look at it.
So this is a book, just so we're clear, that Ben Affleck gave to her when they got back together, which is pretty damn romantic. He kept all the letters, all the emails, all their exchanges. The Greatest Love Story Never Told by Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. I think she added that. But he gave her this book to showcase the love affair then and their relationships, correspondence since, confirming this idea that they were meant to be, right? And this is private exchanges. We're talking emails, private letters. You would think that, Ben Affleck gave her permission for this, right? Before all the musicians started touching it.
I came to the house one day and there was she had told me the musicians are coming, this great producer, Roger, blah, blah, blah. And then I went down there and my book that I had given her was down there. She was like, I've been reading and this is the kind of inspiration I've been showing them the book. I was like, you've been showing all the musicians, all the letters that, and they were like, yeah, we call you Ben Affleck. And I was like, oh my God.
She didn't get permission. Like, how is this a great love story? You literally are crossing boundaries, making your husband, partner, uncomfortable, releasing things that he never gave consent for, and now just peddling it out to all your employees. These aren't even friends of hers. These are paid employees making an album for her, which is all for money. Oh, it's art, it's art, it's art. Okay, J-Lo, no, it's all money. You're not donating this for the world to learn about love. This is all a business. And you're exploiting Academy Award-winning writers, Ben Affleck's private love letters to you. Like, this is something like a terrible, sleazy person does after someone dies. But no, she's doing it too while she's alive. Everybody's like hates on Ben. I assure you, if you watch this documentary, you're going to be way more Team Ben than you realize.
I did really find the beauty and the poetry and the irony in the fact that it's the greatest love story never told. And if you're making a record about it, that seems kind of like telling it.
Yes. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like he's cool with this. Does it seem like he's given his blessing? Because he hasn't. Yet she's going on. Like, if she was just using these as inspiration for her album, great. I would get that. But no, she's giving it to everybody in the studio, just handed it around. Read his notes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ben's cool with it. Oh, you're not Ben? Well, be cool with it because it's art. It's really important art. Listen to the irony, Ben, right? Okay, good. Talk about the gaslighting. And it happens throughout. Multiple times.
I gotta make a film. I want to make a movie. Prince did it with Purple Rain. He just wrote the story of his life, but made just a movie where he played his songs.
So, guys, this is Purple Rain now. She's just making Purple Rain. You know, Purple Rain, the iconic Prince movie and album. It's just that. Ah, sure it is, J-Lo. Huh?
This is me taking my song and making my own musical.
No one asked for it. Why do you think this is needed? No one, well, no, clearly no one wanted it. In fact, no streamer wanted it either.
We had a deal on paper. We'd started production. Then I got a call, deal's off. Pulled it. There was just too much that was being bitten off. The quality was going to be potentially compromised.
I've never been involved with any major studio, small independent production company, anything that has given me a deal on paper. Here, we will give you this. A $30 million deal, and then taking it off the table.
First of all, it happens all the time, girl. It happens all the time. Sorry, your diva but can't handle the fact that this happens. Oh no, they won't give me $30 million to tell my vanity project. And this becomes a through line throughout the movie.
Beyonce didn't sell, Rihanna didn't sell. There was no appetite for a musical film based on an album, no matter what the story, no matter what the star.
And there still isn't. Clearly, now as we've seen, this did not perform well.
When they run their numbers on music projects, you know, the numbers are not as great, whatever. I get it. Then I was like, oh.
She gets it, but she doesn't like it, so she's going to keep complaining and make herself be a victim.
Shit. Who's paying for this? I guess me.
Which she knows. And now she's like, yeah, I guess I'm paying for it.
You're not paying for your own movie.
Everybody then just like, no.
Decided in a very bullish way to finance.
Making a movie with your own money is the most famous cardinal sin in Hollywood.
Because all of Hollywood is a scam where they want to use other people's money to fail. It's nuts. So then what happens is the whole narrative of this movie is, will billionaire J-Lo get enough money to justify the vanity project? Will someone else step in and pay for it? Because, oh my God, can you imagine if poor J-Lo loses $30 million? Oh, woo-hoo. I'm going to feel so terrible that she lost $30 million to produce this movie that might get paid off later. There's no actual stakes whatsoever, but she plays it like this is such a big move that she's doing. No, you're a billionaire who's making an investment, and it was a bad investment.
We're all open to cuts.
Budget cuts, you mean?
Scene cut lead to budget cuts.
No, that's not an option. I'm depending on all of you to do what you do so we can get this done within the budget that I gave you.
Save as much fucking money as we can.
Yes, it sounds like you guys still have work to do in that department.
So now it's her money. She's now the studio, which she would really usually rag against. Why is the studio being so annoying? But now it's her. So she's like, well, now you got to be cheap. For my vision, be cheap. Because now it's my money.
$5,000, $300,000, $470,000. Next week, it'll be something else. Like, oh shit, the conveyor belt turned out to, need an extra wrench.
I'm going to tell you right now, do not bother me while we're shooting. Don't do it. It's going to be a bad idea. I'm going to have so much to concentrate on.
So your financier, your star, don't interrupt her during the movie because she has too much going on. Too much going on. Now, this clip I got to be careful of. So this director is complaining. This is the director who's so patient. My God, what a saint.
How much is that going to?
And so there's a guru that she wants that's going to cost $2,000. Now, this woman is her best friend, like manager, and she's a baddie. You want, I'm sorry, I forget her name. You want a baddie, Elaine. You want an Elaine in your life because she's got J-Lo's back like no other. And if J-Lo ever turns on Elaine, J-Lo, oh my God, Elaine, call us because how dare she? Elaine's got her back. And Elaine's trying to like figure out why are we paying $200,000 for a guru to show up? Apparently J-Lo's guru, which it turns out showed up, but I guess she paid $200,000 for to make an appearance.
That should be discussed.
So now we're in the shoot and the director's so uncomfortable to talk around J-Lo in the back. Why are we spending $200,000?
I think to go $200,000 for a guru is nonsensical.
Well, you guys can confer, but
now this guy like isn't the money. The person whose money is right back there on her phone, zoned out. The financier, and even she's like, "Why won't you talk about it?"
Don't worry about that. Don't even bring that up.
This is haunting me now.
Why won't you say? He's like, "Don't worry, I don't want."
But it's a $200,000 hit.
Look how uncomfortable this director is, and you're about to see why.
Yes.
You should please not today.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't let her ears hear this right now.
Don't let her ears hear this. Don't let her ears hear that we're about to spend $200,000 for a cameo from a guru.
Oh, it's only her.
He's asking you to be quiet, sweetie. Take the cue.
He's asking you to be quiet, sweetie. Take the cue. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal. Figure it out. Oh my God, can you imagine working for this
Maybe
woman?
I shouldn't be the quiet friend.
Touche.
And this poor woman who's trying to defend the budget and not spend $200,000 is now getting shut down by J-Lo. It's horrifying. She's like, take it outside. Go somewhere else. I'm doing my makeup right now. God forbid I do two things at once, which is what you have to do if you want to make a movie. So now this scene, oh my gosh, this scene's nuts. So she shows up to a studio to film, okay? And there's some treadmills that aren't working. And it was an F up. Clearly she's there to like do a whole dance number to practice it. They can't. It doesn't work. She's frustrated. She's annoyed. Justifiably so. I'm not even mad at her for being sort of a little curt here. And she's as patient as one can be, given that the stuff doesn't work. So sorry, we'll do it again later. Okay. So then she's sitting there, and I want you to watch how her crew, and Benny Medina, her like partner, looks so miserable always. But I want you to watch how her friends have to get her attention to get approval on creative
Show you
items.
some umbrella options for Hummingbird. Sure. I need to leave.
Sure, I need to leave. Where the hell do you need to go? You were just supposed to be there for a whole shoot that just got canceled. So you literally had your schedule open up. That is so key to know. She literally was supposed to be here all day doing a dance number. And now the dance number can't happen, so she's canceled it. And now she's sitting around, and they need to have her do creative decisions. No, she needs to leave.
Yep, they're right here.
And she's like, yep, I know, but they're here. And so this crew is like mad dash trying to work around Diva J-Lo to get her attention.
That's okay. We have 12 more seconds to just feel the mud.
12 more seconds to feel the mud.
To feel the mud.
I've been
Bye.
waiting to show.
I had to cut this a lot. I have to cut a lot of this. She's walking around and everybody needs an answer. Every creative person needs an answer. So if you can't do it, J-Lo, hire someone that you allow to do it, that you're not going to then come in later and change it all. That's how it works. You got to hand up roles and trust people to do their job. Or you got to make the time to actually answer the questions.
Show you mud.
I know, they're
That's
chasing
awesome.
me to the car with it. Bye, guys.
They got to chase her to the car
Yeah, that's
to show her the mud.
I think this is a good option, but I would like to see one that's more wet.
She wants to see one that's more wet.
Bye, everybody. Okay.
Bye, okay.
Thank you.
Whatever, rudely. And then she
That
says,
dryer mud.
while she's driving away, she gives a creative decision. They need to have the capacity to add more
Bring
water to
those
the
muds,
mud.
please.
And he's like, which mud? Bring the muds over.
One more.
No, I gotta go.
No, I gotta go.
I just want to see which one you're referencing. Quick.
Poor Benny just flipping over himself to get these muds to her. With a closed window.
Drive.
I say go away.
She said go away.
That's the wet one.
She wants this one. She likes this. She likes this flavor.
All these people are just trying to do their damn job. All now confused. as she's-
You know what?
Keep it crumblier and add some water on top of it so you get a little splatter.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Not a second wasted of today.
It's like, dude, get out of the damn car and give them 2 minutes to say what you need to say about the damn mud. You're not above your own crew. I don't care what you got. You don't get to sleep during movies. That's what happens. I've been on movie sets, J-Lo. You know how it works. Now, all right, now here's a new point. Now we're gonna talk about the celebrity cameos. Anthony Ramos from In the Heights was gonna do this. The guy from In the Heights, and he was like, "I'm friends with Mark Anthony, her ex, who's the father of her kids."
So first of all, I didn't know that you would.
Now on the phone is Anthony Ramos.
I didn't know that. Well,
I didn't know you were friends with my ex, with Mark. I didn't know.
that's nice. You know, he's the father of my kids, obviously.
But I'm gonna shit on him in this movie. But you know, we just want you to still be in it, even though you're friends with Mark.
Never gonna do anything that's going to really like pinpoint him out, but it is very meta, and there was a lot
I'm not gonna pinpoint him out, but it might be crap on him. But only he'll know. So it's cool. You could just do it. You know, I don't care that you're friends with him.
of relationships that I was in. That thing that you're playing in it is representative of many relationships. He's like,
She's had many relationships. She makes sure that's clear. And so rather than actually hearing him on the phone, because I'm assuming he didn't give consent, we then get to hear it through J-Lo.
I just think that people are gonna think that you know how the media is. I said, but if we only did our art thinking about what the media is gonna say,
It wouldn't be art.
what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Taylor Swift is a no.
So she then again goes against Anthony Ramos's consent and releases that sort of information that he didn't want to be involved, makes him look bad. She seems annoyed that he didn't want to do that, given that he was put in an awkward situation since he's friends in the middle. But J-Lo doesn't care. So now listen to this list of celebrities. Taylor Swift said no.
Jason Momoa is not available.
Jason Momoa is not available.
Lizzo not available. It'd be good to get Bad Bunny to do a little cameo as the bad kid.
Let's get Bad Bunny, the biggest musician in the globe. We'll just get him for a little cameo. Like, this is the head of J-Lo. I'm just going to go get Bad Bunny for a little cameo. Dude, Bad Bunny's got his own brand. It doesn't want anything to do with you playing the bad kid. She thinks she's the biggest star in the world.
Ariana Grande's unavailable. She's in London until September. Snoop's not available, unfortunately. I don't want to force anybody to do this who doesn't
But I do.
go, this is going to be fun. Nobody wants
Nobody thinks this is fun. Nobody thinks this is fun.
to say no to me, Benny. I get that. But when an actor doesn't like a script or doesn't think it's good enough or is worried about it, that's what they'll say. I know that. I've done it.
Yeah, she's 100%. They're not available is no. Because if you really wanted to do it, you'd be available or you'd give a little bit more of a detailed answer. Not available is a way for the manager to step in and say, no, nah, I don't want to do that. Just tell her I'm unavailable. And she's acknowledging even that's what she does because she's that type of person too.
I mean,
So she's criticizing these celebrity friends for not being honest when she admits she's never honest. Does she not see how bad she looks?
I know Val was available, but I want you to call Derek. We need him for like 1 or 2 days.
So I don't know who Val is, but someone who took the part. Now she wants Derek Huff instead. And she only needs him for a couple days. Why can't we get Derek?
It's a wedding, Dave. He's in a wedding. I mean,
Whose wedding?
Whose wedding? Whose wedding is more important than cameoing in the greatest love story never told?
It's a wedding he's in. He can't. Unfortunately, it's where it's landing.
I want you to call him.
Okay.
I want you to call him anyway. Make it happen. I'm going to force this one. I want him here. Forget the wedding. Derek eventually does show up, so I guess they must have paid him a lot, or I don't know what, but Derek does show up. But there's J-Lo forcing.
Personal story of Ben and I don't think he's very comfortable with me doing all of this. But
She doesn't think. She knows. She knows he's not comfortable with any of this. He said it on camera.
he loves me. He knows I'm an artist. And he can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, and that's going to happen.
She even says that. He can't stop me. But then she catches herself. Listen.
He doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that. But that doesn't mean he's,
She's now realizing how bad that sounds. So she's like, he doesn't want to stop me. He doesn't want to. I'm going to speak for him. I'm not going to let him speak. I'm going to always speak for him and tell you how he feels.
kind of comfortable being the muse.
But things that are private, I had always felt, are sacred and special because, in part, they're private.
Ben, you're right. You're right. Keep some things private. Don't become a Kardashian. Don't let J-Lo turn you into a Kardashian. We don't need all these details. Keep it private.
So this was something of an adjustment for me.
Because you're used to seeing.
And what's crazy is he's like there shooting this movie for her. She's got an Academy Award-winning filmmaker to help her with all of this, who's now stepping up on the scenes. And this is impressive to me. Wow, good on him, man. He's like stepping up, putting the lenses on. And now here she is being interviewed by him, by one of the best people you could get to do this schlocky documentary. Listen to this little segment.
And kind of, in sweatpants and my striped socks.
We're not going
and
for
thinking,
I'm not pretty and all this bullshit.
No, I'm not saying I'm not pretty. I'm saying.
And so here she is, woe is me, I'm a schlumpy. And Ben has like not having it. I'm not having this again. So this happens a lot. You're gorgeous. And then she's like, oh, I know I'm gorgeous.
You're used to seeing me kind of like the little old lady at home.
You're gorgeous, and that's what I'm used to. But what I'm saying is...
And then when I get up and start dancing, you're like, oh, right, I forgot she could dance.
That's so mean. That's so mean. What do you mean? Why does she keep... You forget I can dance. Who forgets J-Lo can dance?
What?
It's one of the only things she's good at, that and her big butt.
He said and what he saw in me, What he made me believe about myself only comes from love. Because nobody else could have made me see that.
So I guess he has shown her more love than anybody else has ever shown her. And this is where she's going to get emotional because he makes her feel loved. This is the only moment we get of why it's the greatest love story never told. Ready for it?
About myself. It's very moving. Because I didn't think much of myself.
You think so much of yourself.
And so the world didn't think much of me.
No, the world just doesn't think you're as big as you think you are. That's the problem here. And Ben seems to actually love you and criticize you and gives you honesty. And I think that's come out in the press. And the more I see this documentary, the more I'm like, oh, that is so true. That is so true. That's why J-Lo loves Ben, because Ben's one of the only people who can push her.
That lined up. This is how it is. See it. Believe it.
That's it. See it and believe it. There it is. The greatest love story is right there because Ben makes her feel loved.
And I was like, okay.
And then Ben's like, okay. So this was all justification to get this done. So this was the fight where she cried to Ben, talking about how important his love was to her and that this needs to be shared. And then Ben's bullied into it.
That it should be handled in a way that you aren't overly flaunting it, so much so that it creates any form of criticism or...
This is feedback coming in from Jane Fonda, who is in Monster-in-Law with J-Lo. And she's saying, I don't want to, warning, this is through Benny. The note from Jane Fonda is, it shouldn't be flaunted and thrown in everybody's face.
Resentment. My biggest concern is that if, with critics or people sort of come at her in any way,
I don't expect anybody to get this. Okay? I don't. What she's
Look at him. He's like, oh God, what is she doing? Oh God, why am I? Oh, thank God she's paying me. I hope the check clears.
afraid about is what the album is. And that's not changing.
And in order to get a directing gig, you have to be the guy there going, I would love to know what's actually in his head.
I don't
So now Jane Fonda calls and says it to her directly. And props to Jane Fonda.
entirely know why, but I feel invested in you and Ben. I really want this to work. However, this is my concern.
And ready for the most valid concern yet?
Like it feels too much like you're trying to prove something instead of just living it. Every other photograph is the two of you kissing, the two of you hugging.
That's us living our life.
Yeah, right. It's not always just hugging and kissing either, is it? It's fighting and sure, that's more realistic if anything, but...
She's very protective of me, and she felt like you're putting yourself out there to get beat up again.
One of the things I don't want is a relationship on social media.
Now, I don't have that full clip, and I got to be careful. I can't show you the whole movie. But he says, I don't want a relationship on social media, but J-Lo's relationship on is social media. So he'd be asking a boat captain to not talk about the ocean is how he sort of is then gaslighted into believing that, okay, I guess I have to put my life on social media. And Ben, you don't. You really don't. It's not the same thing. J-Lo can put J-Lo online and you guys can have approved moments that you put online together, but don't turn into Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Nobody wants that. It's too much. That's what therapy's for. Don't put your therapy public.
I didn't even have to make the record. It's not like anybody was clamoring for the next J-Lo record.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Anybody who says, oh, but Andy, the music, even she admits it. Even she admits it.
And I know that there's some people around me who are like, this is stupid. Why is she doing this? She doesn't need to do this. And they're right. I don't need to do any of it. I don't.
She doesn't, but, she wants to.
But I want to. I have
You shouldn't have. You should have heeded the
to
warning.
tell the story the way it needs to be told. It's just
She has to tell it the way she needs to be
something
told.
inside of me that just goes, this is all I know how to do.
This is all she knows how to do is tell the greatest love story, to exploit my partner and share his private moments with the world.
I just want people to believe that love exists. If I can use my story to do that, then as an artist, that's what I should do. Maybe I'm setting myself up to be fucking... criticized again. I don't know.
Build that tear up. Am I setting myself up for criticism again? Or were you trying to make this to be like the victim piece to make people feel sorry for you and, oh, more relatable to you? I think that's really what was in your head, girl. I really think this was all a PR spin to try to make people feel more relatable to you because it wasn't working before. So now let me show you even more. Let me flaunt it even more. But maybe it'll open me to criticism. How do you not know this is going to open you to criticism? You've been warned so many times by Ben, by Jane, by the directors, everybody, your friends.
But that's what my heart's telling me to do. Ben and I,
Oh, you be tough, girl.
we broke up 3 days before our wedding. Felt like I lost, like the best friend that I ever had.
So now we are talking about the loss of Ben Affleck.
I couldn't talk to him for so many years.
Look how so happy. Did you see how happy she was? Now that's her looking back. Now fast forward to now. My favorite moment in the whole piece.
Tons of bodies.
This is the camera truck.
You have crimes?
This is like your favorite place, she says. Like, oh my God, this is your heaven. And he's in there legit. Like, oh my God, talking about the crime lenses.
Oh, this is your fantasy truck.
This is a Zeiss compact.
He goes, yep. Now he's really like going in to all the camera kits. He's so excited because he's a director and he's learned how to, and that's how you make good movies. You learn how to work the lenses. The lenses are key to your movie. And this is like your man, like showing off his goods. And she's there for 10 seconds before.
These are light handheld lenses.
I don't care.
I don't care. And he's talking to no one. I don't care. This really is the greatest love story, isn't it? Oh, she cares so much.
When are you guys doing another film together? The last one was Jiggly, right? Or
Yes.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was jiggly.
That's why we haven't done one.
She just did a Jim to camera from The Office. She just did a Jim to camera. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
Sure.
It's not funny. She's so aware of the cameras. Now, all right, now this part, insanely revealing. Now she's going to talk about her parents. This is where it all comes from. You ready for it?
I felt very ignored by my dad because he was always working nights and then all day he would sleep and I didn't feel like I had enough of a connection with him.
So this man worked his butt off to support his daughter. Not ideal, but now he wasn't there for her. You were a terrible father. You put me up in the nicest neighborhoods in the block. Let me buy my orange drink, but it wasn't enough.
My mom was narcissist, center of attention, you know, life of the party type person. I got very used to being around people like that.
Jen.
So she was surrounded by a workaholic and a narcissist, and she doesn't notice that she's both those things. It's so weird. Instead, her excuse is, I got used to being around those types of people who then take advantage of me.
Felt emotionally neglected as a child. It doesn't have to be like sort of the kind of trauma where you're, locked in a basement for a year to leave wounds on you. The thing you discover.
This is all things you learn in therapy, by the way, and none of our damn business. And so now not only is she not telling us, but Ben's now revealing what she's learned in therapy. It's just too much. And look, this could be good in a therapy session, but to try to tell the public I was abused, I was forgotten, I was neglected. Cut J-Lo, dude, because your dad had a job at night? Like, you're so out of touch. And now Ben's drank the Kool-Aid so deep, he's going to compare it to his alcoholism.
Like you do with alcohol, is that there isn't enough alcohol in all liquor stores in the world to fill up that thing. And in Jennifer's case, I don't think there's enough followers or movies or records or any of that stuff to still that part of you that still feels a longing and a pain.
Needing attention, needing to be wanted. Yes, exactly. That she's full of herself. Even you can tell how uncomfortable he is having to like share this. And I assume she's in the room listening.
Ultimately, that's the work that you've got to do on your own.
This
That's the work you got to do on your own. And then sell to Amazon for the whole world to see.
one therapist said to me, "Can you be alone?"
It's a good question. Can you be alone?
And I was like, I can do it.
Sure.
I can be alone. I can be alone. I'll be alone till Christmas.
Okay, she proved us all. Yes, she can be alone. I don't believe it.
Okay? That is gonna fucking suck
Always gonna be
fucking
scared.
dick.
You'll be scared of.
So here's another little moment. She's complaining because the movie sucks. which it does. And the movie sucks. She's worried about it sucking. And here's Ben. Now, again, this is camera far away. Ben consoling her yet again.
Sucking till it doesn't. Enjoy.
Because it is sucking till it doesn't.
Well, right now it's not finished. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Because it is fucking
No,
sucking.
you got to discern between things that suck, DNA-wise, and things that just don't work
Well,
right. 'cause
DNA, I don't think
right
it's
there, that's all you need.
What, dude? Ben Affleck's a cool dude. I've heard him speak a lot. I like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck clearly has had his troubles with alcohol and things, but he just gave such good advice to her. Such good advice.
But I
DNA
think
is right,
right
then all you
now
need
it
is
just
screwdriver.
sucks.
No, it doesn't suck. That's wrong.
It does.
That's wrong. That's just inexperience. That you haven't done this process before.
I'm sorry that I'm not a award-winning director.
Well,
I'm sorry.
If I was doing
I'm sorry, I'm not an award-winning director. Wah, wah, wah. Oh my God, is that really? Did you guys take it that way? I think he was very honest in his real criticism, and then she had to mock him because he's being too supportive.
I'm sorry.
a musical concert,
She's not trying to be take all the attention. Not at all, is she? She's not at all like her mother.
The things when I was
if I was
21
in a
years
rock
old.
show,
I was winning awards at 21. Look at her mocking him. And then he's like, well, if I was
I would
doing
say
a rock
to
show.
you, tell me how this goes. Are you usually afraid of before your first performance?
Guys, there it is. The greatest love story ever told. I wish I could show you more, but I can't. Otherwise, they're never going to let me do it. But do you see what I'm talking about? I don't know what J-Lo was thinking. This documentary is so revealing and so cringe and not good for her. And I don't believe it's genuine. I don't. It's all to try to make herself seem more relatable, more successful, the icon that she thinks she is. And I'm not trying to be so disrespectful. Look, J-Lo is an icon to an extent. She is to a lot of people. She's a talented musician and dancer. Really, she is a very good dancer. I got to give her props on that. And she looks great. I can't deny that either, especially at her age right now. She is in shape. She's got a lot going for her. I just wish she'd work on the inside like everyone's trying to tell her and stop trying to gloat and put it out there like this. This was not the way. And also, you got to get humbled, girl. This, if anything, all these failures should actually make you a better person. You should be watching this feedback and seeing it and not taking it so harshly. I want you and Ben to succeed too. I really do. I'm not here trying to bully J-Lo. Don't go bully J-Lo. Use all this mistakes. You're in Hollywood. You're lost. Take this break from your tour and reevaluate, recheck yourself, and listen to Ben and compliment him back. And actually try to take all this in and be more grateful with your fans. Take time with them. Don't rush through everything. Take this time now to stop working so much and enjoying what you've built, because you've built a very big empire. You have, and you should be proud of that. And there are fans out there. I don't know why I have to keep talking to her, but that's what this movie is this whole doubt that is just completely unnecessary. I don't feel the pain, J-Lo, I don't. You have so much going that you refuse to see that you are not a victim to me here. And that's what this whole piece plays like. You're rallying against the system to make a big movie. You got your money back. Amazon paid for it. If anything, Amazon's the victim because this movie bombed. So you owe them. You owe all of us. Step it up. Quit complaining. Get your act together. And guys, if you want to watch the full one, go check it out over on Amazon. What do you think? Did you like my long form expose rant? Tell me in the comments. Also become part of our squad. Hit that notification bell. Hit the bell. Help spread this video. It's going to be harder to get out there. Share it to a friend over on social, somewhere online. Hit it out there in the world so they can see the truth about the movie and why this is a story that should have never been told. Do you agree? Tell me down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got so much more coming here on Popcorn Planet.